RBT Fam, man. What is the deal? It's your dog, Willie Jack, and we are back. Back, baby. Back with more NFL action. Man, let me come out the gate, man. Let me apologize. I don't know what happened, man, from the time I went to sleep to the time I woke up, but I had, man, wild technical issues going on. I'm telling you, man, it was a headache. Somebody didn't want us here today, y'all. Somebody didn't want us here today. Look, all my little background stuff in the way. Camera picking it up. There we go. But yeah, nah, man. I appreciate y'all for thugging it out with me, man. I appreciate y'all for holding on. I appreciate y'all for getting in here. And hopefully y'all fired up and energized just like me, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all's patience for sure. Man, a little discombobulated, but guess what? The show can and will go on. Yeah. So, of course, man, like the title says, man, opening weekend, dog. Wildcard weekend started off with a bang, man. We got absolutely two bangers yesterday as far as the games were concerned. The 4-5 matchup between the Rams and the Panthers, and then of course the epic 2-7 matchup between the Bears and the Packers. Them concluding their, I guess, trilogy for this season. Of course, they gave us two very memorable games during the regular season for sure, and then man found a way to top that and conclude that with this playoff trilogy, man. That was a fantastic or entertaining game for sure that we're gonna talk about. So get in here, get comfortable, sit down, get yourself relaxed, sip your coffee, your tea, you know what I'm saying, whatever makes you feel good, and let's talk a little ball for sure. And then actually, hold on, I see a few of y'all in here, man. I appreciate that. Let me see who's in the building. Miles was the first one in the door. Good morning, Big Nation family. Happy Sunday. Have a blessed show as always. Let's go. She said she thought Green Bay had that game, but the Bears came back and won. Man, absolutely. Like, yeah, that it looked like they was dead in the water. I mean, they kept getting in their own way, shooting themselves in the foot. Ben Johnson sticking to his guns, holding on to his guns. I'm going for it on fourth. I don't give a damn what yard line we on, man. So he stayed true to himself, and in the end, it ended up paying off. And so we'll definitely talk about it for sure. Let's see, sis in the building say good morning to the good people. What's going on? Here you go. Here you go. Look at my dog, Terrible Tom Walker, holding it down for them weak ass Texans. Yeah, I appreciate you, big dog. Hey, I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. Hey, my dog, Pretty Tony, the painter in the building, man. What's going on? He said, with a black and yellow, man. Hey, yeah. You know, I ain't want to get too premature. You know what I mean? I ain't want to get too premature. You know what I mean? We still off today. We still in preparation, man. We still in preparation. Yeah, we Monday night. And you know what's crazy? I started to go ahead and pull out the war colors on y'all. But then, honestly, bro, like I was saying, man, I had crazy computer issues this morning, dog. And it took me this long to get everything back up and running. And by the time I did, it was, man, I couldn't wait no longer. I had to go. But I started to dust off them war colors on y'all. I started to. But believe me, y'all going to see me Monday night, man. Y'all going to see me Monday night in some form of fashion for sure, I'm sure. I might be giving some style of live updates or something. You know what I mean? So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see what we got. Hey, no, this ain't say. See, this more like a soft mint. You know what I mean? This more like a soft mint. That's it. That's how it is. Man, you know what? Now, you know what? You got a point, man. You got a point, big dog. I'm gonna be right back with you because you right, man. We don't play about this gang shit, man. It's Big Nation business, man. Hold on, man. My dog got a point. He's sure right. We don't do this for play. We don't do this for fun. Hold on. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, you know we always keep one on deck now. Hey, we always keep one on deck, man. My dad, I thought I had to sit there and think about it. Like, man, you know what? You sure right, man. This a lifestyle, man. This ain't a hobby. You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle. This ain't a hobby. What they thought it was, man. Yeah. Hold on. Get myself together. Yeah. And you know what, Pretty Tony? I feel better. You know what I mean? I feel better. It's crazy. Now that I put my cape on, I feel like a champion. Man, that's wild. Yeah, you was on to something. That's probably what was wrong with my morning. That's probably what was wrong with my morning. Shout out to my dog, Pretty Tony the Printer, man. Let's go. For sure. Boy, I can feel the juices now, boy. I'm telling you. Shout out to my dog. Yes, sir. Who else in this thing? Yeah. Yeah, they thought it was a game. And we said Big Nation business. We always in the building. Come on, man. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, this feel better. Boy, I appreciate you, dog. I'm telling you. It's all I needed to, you know what I'm saying, to get myself back together. Now I feel good. Yeah. But no, like I was saying, man, them games yesterday, fantastic. And here's the thing about both the games yesterday is that when they, for the opening 12, 15, let's say even the opening quarter, it looked like both of them could have been washes, right? So the Rams in the Packers game, or excuse me, that hold on, I'm just getting ahead of myself. I might as well put it on the board. I'm so excited to talk about it. I was just finna dive right in. Let's get to it. So yesterday's afternoon matchup, man, we had the 5-seed Rams on the road in a revenge game or a grudge match game against the number 4-seed Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, of course, defeating the Rams earlier in the season. And honestly, that may have been in hindsight, that may have been what cost the Rams a chance at the number 1 seed. That loss to the Panthers. And then, of course, the surging Seahawks and Niners both had passed the Rams up after that point. And then, of course, the Niners and Seahawks had a head-to-head for the number 1 seed, with the Seahawks, of course, winning that. But I want to say it was this game, man, that knocked the Rams out that top spot. So definitely a game that the playoffs have their own implications for sure. But just knowing that this team, a team that the Rams had to feel like they were superior to, and this is the team that had knocked, that had caught them slipping and knocked them off earlier in the year. And so they definitely weren't going to go into this game eyes half closed, or just thinking they were going to walk through it. Like perhaps maybe that's what they had on their mind that first go round, man. I don't know. But no, definitely. They come out to start this game. They take a commanding early lead. I want to say this game was 14-3 almost at the jump. Now, Carolina, did a little of their part in that to start the game. They had the 4th and short right there at midfield. And so I hate doing the hindsight's 2020 and all that type of stuff, of course, right? Because they go for it on 4th and 1. I think they're right there at midfield. They're somewhere between the 45s, right? And so they're right there. I'm not mad at you, man. You got Cam Newton walking the team out, beating the drum, which was fantastic to see as well. It's crazy the disrespect that the Panthers organization, man, has shown to Cam Newton, dog. It's no other way to say it. You know what I mean? This is the all-time greatest quarterback in the history of that team and that organization, an expansion organization as well. They don't have a storied history. You know what I mean? They don't have guys from the 60s they can pull from to hold that mantle. Ain't no Bart Starr in the, in the lineage of the Panthers. No, man, y'all got here in 96. Man, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got a baby brother born in 96. Y'all got here in 96, man. Y'all ain't got nobody else. Shout out to DeLome. Shout out to DeLome and Steve Smith for what they did. That epic playoff run. Steve Smith, Triple Crown winner that year. They went to the playoffs, lost to the Cheatriots. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I was definitely young and young at the time and et cetera, et cetera. Man, in my mind, I thought Steve Smith could have been the MVP of the league that year, man. For leading, for that Triple Crown and getting that Panthers team to a Super Bowl, man, in my mind at the time, I feel like Steve Smith could have been MVP of the league, dog. You know what I mean? And so I know, Jake, is it Jake DeLome? I don't know why I can't think of his first name. So I know what they got going on. Now, outside of that, the greatest single season in Panthers history was Cameron Newton in 2015 in a 15-1 year. If he wasn't unanimous MVP, it's somebody need to be investigated. I would assume that had to be in a unanimous MVP season. Fantastic year. And did it with not even Calvin Benjamin, because his big bum ass was even injured. So he was out. With a revamped Ted Ginn Jr. as his lead receiver, right? As far as just straight receiver. And then, of course, a young C-Mac and Greg Olsen. That offensive line was built for run blocking for sure, right? And so, limited weaponry. That was damn near equivalent to AI taking them six. No, I'm not gonna go that far because he had C-Mac. C-Mac's a guy. You know what I mean? Young C-Mac, but he had C-Mac. So I won't even go as far as to say that was AI taking them Sixers. But my point is, the fact that the whatever's going on with Cam and the Panthers, and it looks like this was a step towards mending that relationship for whatever reason, whatever happened. But point being, I don't know how I got so sidetracked. We're supposed to talk about the game. But point being, this was a big moment. So anywho, midfield, 4th and 1, they go for it at the crib. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not going to look back in 2020 vision and say, that early touchdown on the short field end up being the difference in the game because, we can go back and look at it. They lost this game by 3 points. And yeah, they gave up a short field quick one right there out the gate going for that midfield. And so, but no, in the moment, I completely agree with it. I understood. We at home. We're on a high. This is our moment. Like I said, this is why not? Why wouldn't we? You know what I mean? This is our building. We came here to win. So I wasn't mad at the call. It didn't go their way, right? And then, of course, Stafford and the boys, they went out there and punched it in. And so, that's the risk we take. And so you got to live and die with it, man. Unfortunately, they died with it. But fantastic game because they still clawed back and stormed back, made this a game. Not only did they make this a game, they came back and took the lead in this game. It took a late lead in this game. Shout out to Jalen Coker. Shout out to Bryce Young as well, man. I know me and my dog Chop, we didn't have words over Bryce Young. But shout out to Bryce Young. That was a fantastic, like he played well. And matter of fact, let's talk about the numbers. Bryce Young went 21 for 40, 264 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He had another 20 yards on the ground and added a rushing touchdown as well. But he had his moments in those games, and he did make some big time throws for sure. And the touchdown pass to Jalen Coker being one of those. And then how about Jalen Coker, man? I want to say, was he either undrafted? I want to say he may have been undrafted out of like Holy Cross. He had a fantastic day. 9 receptions for 134 yards in that touchdown that I was just talking about. And he, even as a rookie, he came in the same rookie class as Xavier Legette, right? They drafted Xavier Legette at the bottom of the first round, traded up with Buffalo to go get him. He comes in that same class, that same rookie class. I want to say he was undrafted out of Holy Cross. And he, from that rookie season, was clearly the better player. And I want to say he was their best receiver his rookie year. And he got injured or banged up, I want to say, maybe that year. And then his second year was more injury riddled for sure. And then, of course, now this being his third year, he returned to this game, and now they've got Ted McMillan there and a lot of other young guys. And so definitely there's some things to be excited about, man, for a very young team with a young offense, and they've got a young core of players there, to be excited about going forward. But now to the victors, we'll go to spoils, man. Shout out to Matt Stafford and those Rams. Stafford, 24 for 42, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. The interception to Mike Jackson. I'm not going to lie. Quiet as kept. Mike Jackson might be the most, underrated corner in football right now. He's been playing damn good ball. On the other side of J.C. Horn, and I was a big J.C. Horn guy coming in. My dog Chop, he could tell you that as well, man, if he was in here this morning. But no, Mike Jackson is playing like a stud, man. And so had that interception in one-on-one coverage against Devontae Adams, but he's been a more than solid corner. He's been a damn near elite corner in his own right, man, for the majority of this season, especially when that defense is playing well and flying around. It's thanks in no small part to Mike Jackson and, of course, J.C. Horn and Derek Brown. We know some of those names, but they've also got some nice foundational pieces on that defense to build around as well for Carolina. Puka Nacua, shout out to Puka. Man, more the same. Dominant, 10 receptions for 111 yards and a touchdown. Also had a rushing touchdown in this one as well. Devontae gave you 5 for 70. Let's see. Cody Parkinson, the tight end, had the fantastic throw from Matt Stafford on that game-winning touchdown pass to Kobe Parkinson right there at the right front pylon. 34 yards total, and then that touchdown, of course. And then Kyron Williams added in 57 rushing yards and had a receiver touchdown in this game as well. But now this one was definitely man, definitely a great game. That fourth quarter, I think we had there were 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter alone in that game. And then, of course, the last 2 happening within like the last 4 minutes of the game because Carolina drives down. They get the touchdown pass to Jalen Coker. They give the ball back to Matt Stafford and the Rams with, I want to say, I can't remember how much time was left. I don't want to lie to y'all either, right? But they had re-seized that lead for sure. And then according to Devontae Adams, for sure, according to Devontae Adams, the quote from Matt Stafford at that time was like, man, hey, now look, let's go take these boys' soul. Let's go take these boys' heart right now. You know what I mean? Like no fear, no hesitation. He went out there to kill, and they did. Drove right down the field. We get the touchdown pass to Cody Parkinson to re-seize that lead. And then the defense was able to hold strong and close the door. An unfortunate, I hate it had to be you, Jimmy Horn, man, from Colorado. Of course, man, ain't no other way to say it, man. That legendary group of guys from Colorado: Shadur, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJohntay Wester. You know that group of guys. Jimmy Horn, of course, being a member of this Panthers team, and he's a talented guy, man. He really is. He did have a critical drop, man, and ended up being the end of the game for the Panthers. Bryce Young's able to buy some time on fourth down. He gets a good ball out there. And I think Greg Olsen on the call. And also, let me shout out Greg Olsen. I think Greg Olsen is probably my favorite announcer, especially of the former players that announce. But I think Greg Olsen is probably my favorite announcer, man, of a lot of these groups and these guys. And he made the call as well. The ball was like around like waist or hip level. Right. And so Jimmy's trying to maintain. He's running towards the right sideline, and he tries to stay up and catch that ball. I'm assuming maybe in his mind he was thinking, I got to get out of bounds, is honestly what I imagine he was thinking. And that's not terrible thinking. But Greg Olsen was saying, like, man, you got to go down for that ball. Like, that's a pass. You catch that going to the ground. We get up. And I want to say the Panthers had a timeout or so. And so maybe we burn one of those timeouts. But, you know, I don't want to – I can't speculate on what he was going through, man, or what he was thinking. But the fact that he definitely tried to catch that staying up as he's breaking towards the sideline and, you know, hits off his fingers, hits off his hands, man. He ends up dropping that one, and that was the end of the game for the Panthers. But that was a fantastic game as well, man. Very entertaining game, especially, man, in that fourth quarter, man, was definitely a heavyweight slugfest back there for sure. For sure. Let me see. Derpy said give him giveaway tickets. I don't know what you're talking about, Derpy. I don't know what you're talking about, big dog. But shout out to my dog Derpy in the building this morning, though, for sure. For sure. But nah, and then also, man, now like it's the only thing about this time of year is that we don't have a lot of ball to talk about, right? We had 2 games yesterday, and the second of which, the finale, the Saturday night finale game, of course, but the rematch or the grudge match, this is the true grudge match between the 7 seed Packers on the road against longtime rival, the number 2 seed Chicago Bears, and man, you want to talk about ups and downs, highs and lows, this was the game. And so with the Rams and Panthers game, ended up being far more entertaining than probably I anticipated. Honestly, I thought the Rams were going to win this one more decisively. I thought that they honestly maybe overlooked the Panthers in the first matchup and just got kind of, just got caught going through the motions. I thought they were going to come in focused in the mindset to assert their dominance. It looked that way. I thought that they would probably win that one a lot more comfortably. I didn't expect it to turn out as exciting as it was. But then with that game giving us the excitement that it did, I didn't expect that necessarily this Saturday night game to match that, but it ended up trumping that. If I got to be honest, the way right? And so, tremendous game. And then first off, if you're the Packers and Matt LaFleur, I don't know. I mean, not to say there's ever a reason to justify a loss, right? So I'm not going to go that far. But at the same time, like, how do we justify this one? How do we rectify this one? I'm talking about firm control. I want to say this game went into halftime. Was it 21-3? And I believe it was only 21-3 because McManus, I can't think of his first name right now. I wanted to say Brant or Ben, whatever. McManus, the kicker from the Packers, he misses a field goal there to close the half, and so it could have been 24-3, and that may have been a precursor for the rest of this game and the rest of this night. And then also the Bears, right? Ben Johnson sticking by his guns, living and dying on the edge. If you live by the sword, you got to die by the sword. And Ben Johnson did not blink and showed that is exactly what they plan to do. We're going to win or lose this game being us. And that means if it's 4th and short, we're going. I don't give a damn where we are. Our own 29, go. Our own 32, go. Our own 34, go. I want to say all the fourth, and they didn't get any of these. This is the first half. They didn't get any of those. I want to say they were 0 for 3 inside their own 40 in the fourth half. In the first half. And then the Packers and Jordan Love, first off, man, I got to say it again. Jordan Love may throw the prettiest ball in football, man. I know y'all know how I feel about Jordan Love, right? Jordan Love's got the goods, man. I've been saying that for about 2 years now, man. And I appreciate the rest of y'all for getting on, for catching up. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on. Jordan Love may throw the prettiest ball in football, man. And he was cooking. Right? He got let down in some moments, especially in the fourth quarter. I'm jumping ahead, but especially in the fourth quarter, big drops. Man, Jaden Reed dropped what would have been like a 30-yard, I want to say roughly a 30-yard completion that would have put them down near the Bears 25-30, right, in that fourth quarter. One that just hits him right off the fingertips. But no, Jordan Love was cooking, man. And I was surprised. Going into the game, we talked about it. I predicted the Bears to win this game. Just because, for one, they were at home, they were easily the much hotter team, and they had been the more they've been living dangerously this way, the way we saw in this game, and so no moment was going to necessarily be too big for them, right? They've been winning a lot. They've won half their season being down 20 going into the fourth quarter, and I'm speaking figuratively, and I was actually talking basketball, but that still might be confusing. But what I'm saying is, like, the kitchen's always hot for them. You know what I mean? So they haven't had a lot of leisurely wins. They've had to fight, claw, scratch, rob, steal, and kill to win a lot of these games, and it's coming down to these final moments in the fourth quarter. And so that wasn't going to be foreign to them at all. And then the Packers, one thing that I said on Wednesday's show when we were talking about it is that it felt like the Packers may have peaked a little too early, right? I felt like the Packers may have peaked a little too early. Injuries started kicking in, and then honestly, they kind of limped into the playoffs, so to say, there a little bit. At one point, the Packers were the number one seed in the NFC for 1 week, right? And then they have an upset style loss. I want to say it was to the Lions, who were reeling. I think this is after the Lions lost to my Steelers, and then they go and get a win against the Packers, and I think that knocked the Packers out the number one seed. And then, of course, they struggled down the road. Jordan Love, beat up and banged up, in and out of games. You missed a couple spots. Malik Willis came in admirably, made himself a lot of money in those fill-in games as well. Even he got beat up and banged up as well. And so I didn't know what exactly we were going to get from the Packers. Like I said, I thought that this was, like I said, man, they peaked too soon, and now they kind of limped in, and they're beat up, they're banged up. Josh Jacobs was in and out of half the games this season as well. And so I just didn't expect to see the performance that we got from the Packers, right? No, they showed up and put their best foot forward, man, especially for about three quarters. But kudos and shout out to Ben Johnson, shout out to Caleb Williams, shout out to those Bears, because, man, I'm telling you what, that game right there, and it's cliche to say, you know what I mean? Anybody who's played team sports, it's not limited to football, but most every sport, and especially if your sport's got 4 quarters, don't hold me to everybody. Baseball, y'all probably say the same thing. Hockey or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a 4-quarter ball game for a reason, right? This is a 60-minute game, and it's the truth. And the Bears proved that. You know what I mean? The Bears showed that, man, you can get your ass kicked for 48 minutes, right? What are we gonna do with these last 12? Because we still got a chance until the final whistle blows. We can We could pull this out. We could fight. We could win this game, right? As long as we handle our business, do what we got to do to claw back into it. And that's exactly what the Bears did, man. It looks like they went in, they threw away that first half completely. That's the definition of coming out and starting the second half 0-0. I know a lot of us have probably heard a coach say that, man, no, we're going to start this. Hey, this is 0-0. It's a 0-0 ball game right now. It's a 0-0 ball game right now, fellas. And that looks like what the Bears did. The Bears scored 3 points in the first half. They're down, I want to say 21-3 at half. They scored 28 points in the second half of that game. And they outscored the Packers, 28 to 6? They outscored the Packers 28-6 in the second half. And not that they didn't have opportunities, right? The Bears made a fantastic goal line stand. Fantastic goal line stand. I want to say they forced the Packers to go ahead and take a cheap three right there. And then actually, you know what? Because Greg Manis missed 2 kicks in the second half, missed an extra point, and he missed another individual field goal. So he left 3 off the board in the first half. He left 4 off the board in the second half. That last one really proved critical because it was the difference between the Packers needing to drive the length of the field to secure a touchdown to win versus drive to reasonable distance to get a field goal to tie, right? And so that extra point definitely was damning for the Packers. And then, of course, as well, if he handles his business, like I said, they're short 7 points on his leg. If this is a game they lost by, 4 points, reasonably, it's not unreasonable to say that this game should have been 34-31 Packers off the leg of McManus. But like I said, man, you got to play the hand that gets dealt. And so be that as it may, the Packers fall just short. Now, here's the thing for me. When when Chicago goes down and they get that touchdown, that wasn't Colston Loveland. Who was that? Oh, and actually, I didn't even go over the stats, but I'm going to go over the stats for us as well. I forget who Caleb Williams ended up throwing would end up being the game-winning touchdown to at the left front pylon. I'm blinking. But at that point, they returned the ball over to Green Bay. Green Bay's got 1 timeout. They've got 90 seconds left, 1:30 and 1 timeout. That's plenty of time. And I think me and some of my dogs, man, in the group chat, we were talking about it. Man, that's plenty of time. The Packers have time to go win this game, right? And honestly, they move the ball. They get to roughly midfield. There's like 46 seconds left. I remember it because it was like a short, I'll call it slant, kind of like a slowed or delayed slant from Romeo Doubs on the outside on the right because it was a 3rd and 5. They pick up that first down. They burn a timeout right there. I think I was texting to my dogs in the chat. I said, man, that's a bad timeout. Because for one, like we're still at midfield. We still need another chunk play, and then we need to be able to call a timeout there. I don't understand why we burnt that timeout. Because here's the thing. Generally speaking, because this is a 5-yard completion for a first down. And so what that means is we don't have to, if the linemen are going to have to run 20 and 30 yards to get to the line of scrimmage so that we can spike the ball, okay, now we burn it. Boom. Timeout, because we can't lose the time to let everybody catch up to the play. This was a quick 5-yard hitter, right? We can get right back on the ball. We can just get right back on the ball and go. Or if we do want to take a pause, take a breath, spike it. Because that timeout in that moment is invaluable. It's the only one we got, and we're still too far. Now, also, let's say if we're on the 20, right? If we're on the 20, we've already got that chunk play. If Jaden Reed catches the damn pass, the ball, because before that completion to Romeo Doubs, I want to say the second down play was a 30-yard laser from Jordan Love to Jaden Reed right there on the left sideline. 30 yards of the field. It would have put them, or maybe it's 25, 30 yards of the field, because it would have put them roughly on Chicago's 30 or 25 going in. He catches that ball. He's right there against the left sideline. He's probably 3 steps from the left sideline. He can catch that pass if he stays on his feet. He gets out of bounds, right? And it just off the fingertips, butterfingers. He had popcorn on the sideline. That's crazy, right? And so we don't get that one. So now we come back, we get the short, quick hitter to Romeo Doubs for a first down. Why are we burning our last time out at midfield? We still need a chunk play. Now we've essentially conceded the middle of the field. You know what I mean? And so I hated it. And then you know what happened? The very next play, a Packer goes down, injured. So now we have to forfeit 10 seconds of clock because it was 32 seconds left in the game, right? And then now the next play, a play in which we don't gain any yards, or not a meaningful play. What was the actual play? It wasn't any style of meaningful play. We didn't get there wasn't any there wasn't a great gainage or movement in field position because they never got past midfield. And so now we've got another throwaway play. I think Jordan Love scrambled and tried to throw the ball away, but he gets hit as he's throwing it away, and it ends up being ruled a fumble. And it was a fantastic play by Montez Sweat, man, retracing your steps. You know what I mean? Retracing your steps to the quarterback, falling back and getting in on that pass before he could throw it away and actually causing that fumble. Now, the ball traveled forward and went out of bounds, but it was an empty palm going forward. It was a fantastic play by Montez Sweat. And so now we don't get that incompletion. One of our offensive linemen goes down, and so now since it's a fumble, it still costs 10 seconds. I don't want to mess up the ruling or how they figured it out because the ball did get out of bounds. It didn't get recovered. But be that as it may, we just burned our timeout to play before. The next play, somebody goes down, and now we have to give 10 seconds to the game because of the injury timeout, because that's an improper stoppage. You don't get the benefit from an injury to stop the clock because that rule is in there to prevent fake or false injuries, which used to be a thing. You know what I'm saying? Coaches used to give somebody a signal, and that man, you'll fall down, have a crazy cramp. Now we got to stop the game. Like, no, okay, so that rule is in place to prevent that type of thing from happening. If you don't have any timeouts and the guy goes down with less than 2 minutes, it costs 10 minutes to the good, unless you got a timeout to pay for it, right? So the very next play, it bites them into you know what. You know what I mean? Which was tragic. And then that, of course, paints them into an even deeper corner for the comeback attempt, right? And so now, essentially, I mean, we've got to have it, and we know we need a touchdown because our field goal kicker can't make an extra point, and he's a veteran guy. He's like 12 years in. You know what I mean? And so this ain't Tyler Loop, green, wet behind the ears rookie in his first major spot. This ain't that. No, boy. McManus, I think he won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. You know what I mean? He's a veteran. Period. He ain't got, man, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Even if I want to give him some slack on the 2 field goals, I want to say, I don't think either of them field goal attempts were outrageous. Anything under 50's got to be a layup, especially in this time of age, 2025 going into 2026. I don't want to hear it, man. Anything inside of 50 is a layup. Them got to be money outside of some type of extra circumstance. Gale force winds, crazy rain, whatever. Some outside of anything like that, those are layups now, man. So you got to be good for them. If you can't be consistent from inside 50, I want a different one. I want a new one. I need another guy. I don't have much leeway for that. He missed 2 inside of 50. And then the extra point, unforgivable. I don't want to hear that at all, man. There's nothing there. And so the circumstances being what they were, we've got to have it. It all fell apart for the Packers. And also, kudos and shout out to the Bears. Like I said, they did have a fantastic goal line stand there, forcing a 3 instead of a 7. And then when the Packers did get what ended up being their last touchdown to expand that lead, I think they went up, I think it was 27-19, was it? Don't let me lie to you. But they had a touchdown. I want to say it was like 4 minutes left or something to that effect. No, not that big a lead. Maybe that's what took them 27. They retook the lead. Look, I don't want to misspeak. Again, like I said, I don't want to misspeak. But no, be that as it may, man, I think that touchdown call right there at LaFleur, questionable. I wonder if anybody asked about the reasoning or the rationale behind the early burn of that timeout. Because I really, watching it happen, and I don't know if there was some type of, it could have been, I don't know if Jordan had some type of issue. He had to take it for whatever reason. Finger got jammed, bumped on somebody's helmet. The mic in his helmet went out. I don't know the context, but I still think that was a very curious touchdown call. And now, especially in hindsight, but even prior to the injury of the Packers guy going out, as soon as they called the timeout, I was in the chat like, hey, man, that's a bad timeout. Like, what are we doing? That's a 5-yard game. We can get right back on the ball. You know what I mean? We can get right back on the ball. And so, yeah, no. But kudos and shout out to the Bears. Man, that's a hard way to live, man. That's a hard way to live. Living this way, digging yourself such deep holes, and then finding ways to crawl out of them, man. But man, if somebody's got to do it, the Bears said we'll take that job, and they did it. They got it done. They the number 2 seed for a reason, and they move on. And so now they're going to host a divisional weekend game in their building as well. And we just saw firsthand, man, the type of magic they can create in their building. And so excited to see after today's games just who that opponent's going to be. But man, I'm telling you, these Bears, man, these Bears, they cannot be taken lightly at all. And then actually, my dog Tom was in there, man. Shout out to my dog Tom. Elijah Molden, number 6 for the Bears. Man, he was free. Man, he was free meat. He was free game, man. Because I'm trying to tell you, it was no secret at all. It didn't matter who he was covering. If Elijah Molden was in coverage 1-on-1, that's where the ball was going. And so, man, he got honey roasted all night. So I think this win meant even a little more to him because, like I said, man, a victory covers up a lot of smells, man. And if not for this victory, when we go back and look at this game and think about this game, and then his name was going to come up early and often, man, for after getting honey roasted on live TV, man, in your own building. And so this is a fantastic win for the Bears for sure. Dog. Yeah. Cooked. Like, man, yeah, it was bad. And then, like, I want to say it was a period where he got like 3 targets back to back, all 3 for first downs. I was just like, come on, man, why ain't we got him out of there? And I don't know who the next man up is, but there's a point in the game where, like, hey, man, we at least got to give somebody a look because it's not going to be worse. Like, how much worse can the next guy be? I at least got to get the next guy 3-4 snap. I at least got to give the next man up a series. I got to. Because, man, it was terrible, dog. Terrible. And so, man, it was a rough night. But, hey, man, a win solves all ills. You know what I mean? A win heals all ills is what they say. As far as the numbers go, Caleb also in this one, man, as well. And I want to talk about that, and I want to get y'all thoughts, matter of fact. That first interception early in the game for Caleb Williams is cover 2. He's got Luther Burden running the goal. We had the 2 receiver on the left run some type of outbreaker to try to occupy the flat or drop defender, right? And so Luther's in that honey hole style of area. Well, Caleb, and there was no indicator. He stayed up. He stayed on the sideline. There was nothing that indicated he was breaking in. Caleb throws the ball straight to Carrington Valentine, I want to say, the safety, the left safety at the time for the Packers, hits him right in the chest. And then he's pissed off and mad because he's saying, well, it was supposed to, and then I think Richard Sherman said it was supposed to be a post. And now in seeing the play, I could see that Caleb, I guess, was throwing a post. Luther Burden was about 7 yards from where he threw that ball. Like, there was no break. And it'd have been a late breaking post too. I mean, he's right there he's right there playing the honey hole shot. Caleb throws. Man, I don't know, man. So yeah, maybe it's supposed to be a post. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just leave that alone. But yeah, no, hey man, God, dog. Shout out to my dog Tom, man. Come on, man. Look, I'm already discombobulated this morning. We halfway through the show. The chat just getting on the board. Damn. Shout out to my dog Tom, dog. Man, golly. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, that was, I ain't gonna say nothing but the bonehead, man. But at the same time, I get it. I mean, I do get it. Like, so let's say, and I wonder, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know. Now, obviously, they were on the wrong page, or they weren't on the same page. The rookie Luther Burden, St. Louis very own. Shout out to Mo. I see you, MIZ and all that, big dog. Honestly, Luther Burden for me, I want to say, was the number 2 receiver coming into this draft. I don't care what they said about him, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Man's a difference maker with the ball in his hands, and honestly, I think playing playing for Mizzou that last year, just the talent around him at quarterback, Brady Cook, and I'm not trying to hate on you, Brady Cook. Shout out to you as well. MIZ, you started them last handful of games for the Jets. But man, with he had subpar quarterback play, man. But anywho, but yeah, I don't know. And honestly, even looking at it, because it wasn't like he threw that ball with his eyes. Period. Like this wasn't like it wasn't anticipation. He had to climb in the pocket. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. He's not throwing with anticipation before the break of a router. Like, no. He threw that ball with his eyes. He threw that ball with his full eyes, and that one got away from him is how I felt about it. That one felt like that one got away from him. I don't want to hear it. But no, the numbers, that's where we was going. Caleb Williams on the day, 24 for 48, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, added another 20 yards on the ground. DeAndre Swift, 54 on the ground and a touchdown, another 40 receiving. Rookie Colston Loveland had himself a day, 8 receptions for 137 yards. Have a day, young man. DJ Moore, 6 for 64 and a touchdown as well. Then on the other side for the Packers, Jordan Love, 24 for 46. Man, that's crazy. They almost were identical as far as completions, attempts, and the yardage wasn't far off. 24 for 46, 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Romeo Doubs had a big day here, 8 for 124 and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs also had a very critical fumble recovery in the end zone. And shout out to my dog Tom. Christian Watson being Baby Moss is still a wild take. But Baby Moss catches a short one, catch and run up the right sideline, dives and kind of somersaults into the end zone, gets hit going in, fumbles the ball. The ball's laying right there on the ground in the end zone. It's a live ball. Romeo dives, great awareness. He pounces on it, and so they're able to maintain possession. That play easily could have been a touchback for the Bears with no points at all. It could have been recovered by the Bears, right? I mean, so Romeo Doubs, being on point, being aware, and following on that ball in the end zone, end up giving the ball back to Green Bay at the 1. Yeah, they get the ball back at the 1 because he cannot advance the ball. Another person that recovers can't advance the ball, and so he fumbled at the 1-yard line. It was recovered in the end zone. It comes back to the 1, the down of the fumble. And I want to say that stand, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Chicago held on that stand and either forced a field goal or they just held and took over. I want to say Green Bay may have took the 3 there. I can't recall right now. If you're in the chat, man, let me know something. But no, great play there by Doubs. Like I said, 124 and a touchdown in the game. Rookie Matthew Golden, the first round rookie drafted by the Packers in about 2 decades or damn near, 4 for 84 and a touchdown. Fantastic touchdown. It was a nice catch and run. He broke, I want to say 2-3 tackles, weaving through traffic and gets in the end zone. And it ended up being his first touchdown of the year. He didn't have a touchdown during the regular season. And so that touchdown, his first career touchdown, and at the time, man, it could have been a memorable one. I want to say that may have been the Packers' last touchdown of the game. And honestly, if the defense holds up, it could have been one that could have been considered the game winner. But impressive catch and run by Matthew Golden there, getting his first touchdown. Jaden Reed, 4 for 43 in the touchdown, had that big drop right off his fingers that would have put the ball down on Chicago's 30, right there in the fourth quarter on that last drive. Christian Watson, we just talked about, 3 for 36 in a touchdown. We already talked about his fumble. And then Josh Jacobs, man, tough sledding for him. 19 carries for 55 yards on the ground. But be that as it may, man, that was a fantastic game, man. It was an entertaining game. I'll say that for sure, right? Because it wasn't the cleanest game. There was some sloppy play. There was some questionable decisions on either side, right? But no, still very entertaining game for sure. Hey, look who it is, man. Shout out to my dog Cooper Jones, man. Bear down in the building, man. Hey, boy, I know you was in there. Hey, I know you was tight. I almost said something. It's too early to be cussing like that, man. I was gonna say you was, yeah. You know what's going on. But shout out to my dog, man. That's a big win. And then honestly, I'm really curious to see who y'all get in the divisional. And I think, today's games will tell us who y'all's next matchup will be. Matter of fact, talking to my dog, Cuzzo. We was talking to Loke last night. What was it? Hold on. I want to say if Philly beats the Niners, then the Rams go to Buffalo, and if San Francisco beats Philly, then the Bears would go to Seattle. There we go. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's how it will play out. So I'm curious to see just what happens for your Bears, man, going forward. I definitely think that the Bears and their magic is amplified or multiplied in their building. And so, man, being at home in that divisional, man, I mean, y'all get another team in that building. I'm gonna tell you, all bets are off. All bets are off for anybody that has to go in that building with the way this season is played out, the way this team has shown that they can, as resilient as they can be. I think Ben Johnson in the postgame, he talked about at the beginning of this year, they discussed the Patriots 28-3 comeback Super Bowl victory over the Falcons, right? Because they've got a couple members from both those teams. Joe Tooney, their left guard, I think he was just announced as All-Pro. So Joe Tooney, of course, was left guard on that Super Bowl winning comeback team for the Patriots. And then Grady Jarrett, one of the D linemen for the Bears, he was on the other side, of course, right? He was a longtime Falcons. He's probably going to be a Ring of Honor Falcons guy when he hangs it up. He was on the other side of that comeback loss, right? And so to start this season, Ben Johnson was preaching to the guys from day one. It sounds like this game is 60 minutes. This game is 4 quarters. It's never over. You know what I mean? And then he used that 28-3 Patriots versus Falcons comeback and had 2 guys on their own team speak to that. And then we've seen them live and die like that all year long, man. And it proved true for them last night. So shout out to my dog Cooper Jones and them Bears for sure. Oh, yes, sir. Hey, come on, man. Shout out to my dog D-Dot in the building, man. Big Nation business in the building. Come on, you know what's going on. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mom said Caleb did all right. Hey, yeah, he got to. He did. Like I said, it wasn't pretty. It definitely wasn't pretty. And that's the thing about Caleb Williams, man. Like, the highs are some of the most impressive play you'll see from anybody. But, dog, the lows are ugly, man. Like, the lows are ugly. The lows are ugly. But the way that Caleb's been playing, man, and the way he's been getting by is that, man, I think I've heard this term used for golf. You know what I mean? Like 3 bad shots and 1 good shot can still make par. You know what I mean? As far as it's a golfing term, right? But 3 bad shots and 1 good shot can still make par, and that's the name of Caleb Williams' game. Man, I'll put 1 in the sand, I'll put 1 in the bunker, I'll put 1 in the water. But man, I'll bring it home. That last shot will get me right there on the cup. You know what I mean? 3 bad shots and 1 good one can still make par. And that's exactly how Caleb Williams and these Bears have been living for sure. For sure. My dog Cooper Jones said Ben Johnson play calling has to be more consistent. And well, here's the thing, Coop. Was it the play calling or was it Caleb's execution, dog? Like Caleb has some misses. I'm still not gonna bail him out for that first interception where he's I guess he's arguing that Luther Burden should have broke in for the post. But Caleb has some misses, just flat out. You know what I mean? And so I don't think the play calling was crazy, but I think more so was the execution. I think like there were plays there to be had for sure, and then also the Packers. That defense, and this game, you know what happened with the Packers as well? This loss is exactly why they gave up the picks they did to go get Micah Parsons. They didn't have a closer. They needed a defensive closer, right? Micah Parsons might put this game to bed. Micah Parsons might have been the difference in this Packers team closing the door and putting that Bears team to bed. But yeah, he's out, right? He's out. He's not there. And there was nobody there. They didn't have a closer. They needed Mario. They needed Mariano Rivera. You know what I mean? They needed a closer and they didn't have one. You had a strong starter. Jordan Love came out there and threw 7 no-hit innings. You know what I mean? Jordan Love did what he had to do. I gave you 7 hitless innings. You know what I mean? We didn't have no mid-game and closer. That's what it was. You know what I mean? And so, man, that's wild. But no, I ain't gonna lie, man. If anything, I was gonna say I don't know if Ben John and his aggressiveness, or because at one point, and of course it's one of those things where hindsight is 20/20 and all that, but if not for the epic comeback that they did and the shortcomings of the Packers, in the second half, then we'd be talking all day long about Ben Johnson digging themselves in a hole in that first half with those 3 failed 4th down conversions all inside your own 40. That could have been the type of conversation today. If anything, I'd say he stayed consistent and stuck to his guns. Like, if it's 4th and short, we going. I don't give a damn about none of that. Don't tell me where we at. I'm worried about where we going. Hey, sir, we on our own 28. I don't give a damn. You telling me where we at. I'm talking about where we going. Like, he lived like that. And so he stuck to it. And honestly, it paid dividends last night. Now, also, very familiar opponent, right? Division rival. You already played them twice this year. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm curious to see, like I said, in this next round, in this divisional, for one, if they've got to go on the road to Seattle, I don't think you can live like that and get by like that in Seattle. But if by chance they do get this game and they build it next week, which would mean they playing the Rams, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, it's something going on in that Bears building, dog. The magic seems strong when they at home for sure. My dog Koo said we rushed to 250, we ran that game. But the running game wasn't hitting like that, though. Like, the running game wasn't hitting like that. I think DeAndre Swift only had like 50 yards. You know what I mean? Like, the Packers' run defense wasn't an issue for him last night. Said 4th and 1, we go play action on the goal line, and we got a great 2-back system. Yeah, I know the play you talk about too. I'm trying to think who they was hitting, who they was throwing it to. Well, but here's the thing though. Like, I do know the play. I'm trying to think who that pass ended up going to. But again, keep in mind the Packers' run defense had been stout all game though. Like, it had been stout, and then also Kyle Monangai didn't really get much burn in this one. You know what I mean? The young guy that pairs with DeAndre Swift. I don't even think he got much burn in this one. It was pretty much all Swift all night. But no, the Packers run defense was solid last night though. You know what I mean? So like I don't know if the run game was clicking, then yeah, I could be with you. Because that's what one of the biggest complaints about John Harbaugh, and one of the reasons that probably factored in him getting fired is like, because they'll have Derrick Henry going crazy, and then they just stop giving him the ball. Like, then I'm with you. But Swift wasn't having no big day, though. Like, the Packers' run defense was, you know what I'm saying? They were stout. They were stout last night. No, for sure. When it's hitting. But see, that's the thing, too. Like, Kyle Monangai, Kyle Monangai might have got like 3-4 carries last night. Like, y'all didn't really get him. Y'all didn't even really get him in to get him going. You know what I mean? You didn't really get him in to get him going. Hey, Tom makes a good point as well. It's hard to lose if you run for 250. That's a good point as well. But the thing is, you got to be running for 250 though. Like, you got to be producing like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, but last night again, like the Packers defense was pretty stout. The Packers defense was pretty stout. Be part of the pass game, link out, pass the feet, and feed 10 the ball. No, so I don't think you're not saying nothing wrong, but the first part of that is like, we have to establish the running game. Like, y'all never actually established a run game that made it viable. I think DeAndre Swift had 13 carries for 54 yards, which isn't horrible actually. Now, honestly, I thought he had more carries than that. But 13 for 54 isn't terrible. I want to say that's four a carry. So it wasn't crazy explosive, but it was solid. If you're getting, that's probably like 4.2. So if you're getting, if you're north of 4, right, then he probably should have got a few more carries. Now, also keep in mind the way the game played out, because y'all dug yourself in such an early hole that y'all had to go away from the run game. You know what I mean? Y'all dug yourself such a deep hole. It's 21-3 at halftime. You know what I mean? It was 21-3 at halftime, so it's hard to really feed the running game. But yeah, it looks like at that clip of where he was going, the running game maybe could have been it could have been more of a factor if y'all didn't bury yourselves with those failed fourth downs in the first half. But yeah, no, I'm with you though. If the run game would have been going. Hold on, hey, we gotta fly. Hey, we started late today. I had all this technical issues, man. We got 13 minutes to kickoff, man. We're gonna get right into these previews. First one up. San Francisco on the road at Philly. That ain't even the first game. I clicked on the wrong one, but it's all good. Give me Philly at the crib, 27-23. Now, for me on this one, Philadelphia hasn't played their best ball in 2 months. And you know what? This has been an up and down season for them all year long. So they haven't looked like the team that was the dominant Super Bowl champion 2 out of the last 3 years. They haven't looked like this team, but they're in their building. They took week 18 off. They fully rested. I'm anticipating they're going to come out fired up, recharged, refocused, and I think they could get this done in their building, and especially against a team in the Niners that has been struggling all year against injuries and a lot of other factors working against them. And I think them going all the way to Philly from the West Coast, man, and then with Philly being as well rested, and I know they've reset. I know they've got themselves in their locker room and had real grown man heart-to-heart conversations. Hey, it's time to buckle up. It's time to put everything else behind us. We got a championship in front of us. Let's go get one. I definitely expect we're going to see Philly come out and maybe play some of the best ball that we've seen them play. I still think it's going to be a close game because San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, my coach of the year, we talked about it last week. I think they're the best coach team. They'll be the better coach team in this one. Just head-to-head Shanahan and old boy for the Eagles. But I do think the Eagles are the more talented team for sure. They are at home. And I think they're going to be playing with a little chip on their shoulder, man. So I've got the Eagles pulling this one out. In the opening game, man, we've got the 6 seed Buffalo Bills on the road at Jacksonville. Man, I went back and forth on this one. I had my head and my heart were in it, just in different places. I ended up going with my head right now, man. I've got Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, red hot. I don't know if there's a more hot team in football right now than Trevor Lawrence in those Jacksonville Jaguars. They're hosting a Buffalo's Bills team that comes down to Superman Josh Allen and then and Robin James Cook for sure. And honestly, I just think they're outgunned. I think they're outgunned. That Jacksonville defense is probably a little underrated. They're a little under the radar, right? They're a fantastic group as well. And honestly, I just think they're flying on all cylinders, man. They're playing with at a level that we haven't seen them play. We haven't seen Trevor Lawrence play specifically at this style of level. It looks like Liam Cohen getting in that building, and especially from the midpoint of this season on, it looks like he's really unlocked all that potential that a lot of folks have been waiting to see from Trevor Lawrence. And I got them winning the tough one, man. I do think my dog Big Josh is going to put up a fight because he's Big Josh. You know what I mean? And then James Cook, I want to see, I'm banking on him, being like I said, that Robert to Josh Allen's Batman, man. And I know they'll fight tough, but I think it may be just too tall an order. I had to listen to my head over my heart in this one. I'm going Jacksonville 31-28. I think that's going to be a damn good game, man. So I can't wait to catch that one here in about 10 minutes. So, yeah, let's go. And then also, of course, the Sunday night game, we've got the 7 seed Chargers on the road at the 2 seed Patriots. I think, and I talked about this on Wednesday. Shout out to my dog Vegas James, man. He was in the building, and we talked about this game. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. I really do. I am going to take the young gun, man. I'm taking MVP Drake May at the crib, 28-27. I think this is going to be a great game. And it's 28-27 because, honestly, this is a toss-up matchup, man. I think this is anybody's game. With a young team like New England, like, I don't know if they've got the stones just yet. You know what I mean? Like, I got to see what they can, like, if they can, this is a good this is a good level up game for them, right? To really break themselves into the playoffs, into these moments, and then from here build real confidence and even know that like, nah, we're here, we're for real, and we're a threat, right? And so I think this could be a very like I said, a big level up game, a proven game for these Patriots. When the Patriots are rolling, Gillette Stadium is a very tough place to play. You know what I mean? For a lot of reasons. People tend to have a lot of electrical difficulties for the opposing team. Headsets go out, cold water in the showers, all types of funny business tends to go on when you're playing in Gillette in big games, especially in the playoffs. And so I definitely think that this could be a tough game. Justin Herbert honestly, this for me, not statistically, but I think this is some of the best ball that we've seen from Justin Herbert. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting on his side. He doesn't have a star-studded offensive cast. Now, neither does Drake May, but he doesn't have a star-studded cast for sure. He's got injuries up and down his offensive line. He's been running for his life, and he's shown some toughness and some mental fortitude that, quite frankly, I just feel like I had never seen from Justin Herbert before. That was always the missing piece of his puzzle, right? That toughness, that mental fortitude, that being able to will your team and rise above circumstance in the critical moments. This is where Justin Herbert has always left me wanting, right? And so this game, particularly, the Patriots don't have a dominant defense at all, right? And so this is a game that I think is winnable by both sides. I'm going to give the edge to the young gun man, MVP Drizzy Drake May. But like I said, man, this is going to be a damn good one as well. And so, and shout out kudos to the script writers, man. Because these opening games on Saturday, fantastic. Today's games, all these matchups are very well balanced. I think these are all very well balanced, competitive, and what should be entertaining games. Script writers for 2025, man, you end up doing your thing. You know what I mean? You end up doing your thing. We'll see how the days plays out. But I'm gonna give the edge to the young gun Drake May in this one. And then of course, Monday night. You know what time it is, man. You know why I'm here. All right? The Pittsburgh Steelers host Tom's funky ass Texans in the 4-5 matchup at Monday night in my building. And give me the good guys. Give me the Steelers to pull this one out 23-20, man. I think this is going to be a very hard-fought defensive game. I think both offenses are a little hit and miss. I don't think either of these offenses are overly dynamic. I do think both of these offenses can hit for chunk plays, but that's not the DNA of these offenses, right? I do think both these teams definitely want to go into this one kind of defense forward and have the offense pick up sevens in front of threes, right? And so me and my dog Tom was talking about this game. I want to say, yeah, we was chatting it up yesterday, right? And so, and one of the things that I know I said was that sevens and threes in this one, right? Who's gonna turn into seven and who's gonna be held to a three? I don't expect a lot of touchdowns. I told Tom this is probably gonna be a 3 touchdown game combined. Who gets 2? Who gets 1? That's gonna be the difference in this game as far as what I see it. And then also, of course, whose offense can hit that explosive, right? Whose offense has that 30-yard chunk play that resets the other team's defense and keeps them honest and backs them off, right? Who wins those style of moments is, I think, where this game comes down to. And so I, of course, taking the good guys for sure. Taking the good guys to hold it down to do our thing Monday night in Pittsburgh under them lights, man. It is not for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of boys' dreams broken under them Pittsburgh Steelers Monday night lights, baby. And so Houston Texans, bring y'all ass up here. I hope y'all bring Meg. And I hope she look good. Matter of fact. But yeah, man, give me the good guys. Hey, Tom, we run out of time, man. Herbert, drop me a score. Drop me a score in this thing, man. He said Drake May not that great. Boy, Drake May finna be the 2025 MVP unless they give Matt Stafford that sympathy vote because he's old. If Matt Stafford might get that sympathy, he's at the end of the line. He doesn't have too many years left. It's the conversation they had around Drew Brees for a long time in his MVP campaigns or when he was trying to get one. But I'm not here for it, man. It is what it is. You did or you didn't. Drizzy Drake May is the MVP of this league for your boy, man. Take that how you feel. He said, Texas Swarm, give me a score real quick, big dog, because we only got 3 minutes. So we got to tighten it up. We got to tidy on up. As a matter of fact, Tom, while you thinking of a score, I'm going to get into this real member roll call real quick because, man, I hate that we had to cut everything so short. I'm going to blame it on my technology. And they didn't want to see us win. They didn't want us to be here this morning, RBT Fam, but guess what? We came, we saw, we conquered. We did what we had to do. First one in the building today was my bonds. Good morning. Have a blessed show as always. I appreciate you. Sis was in the building for sure. I appreciate you. Shout out to my dog, Terrible Time Walker, holding it down for them funky ass Texans. I appreciate you as well. My dog, Pretty Tony the Painter Miles, the Mac in the building. That's precision prospect painting across all the platforms. Y'all know what's going on. Let me see. My dog Derpy stopped through and said what's up. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Derpy. I think you might have been in the wrong chat with that comment, but I appreciate you always, big dog. Let me see. I'm looking for the rest of y'all, man. My dog Cooper Jones is in the building, man, holding it down for them Bears. My dog D-Dot was in the building. Big Nation Business in the building. He know what's going on, man, and I'm looking for the rest of y'all. I'm looking. Hold on, wait a minute. Sis said 34-27 to the good guys. She know what's going on. Oh, Tom, boy, you up in the... Who slipped cocaine in Tom Walker's coffee this morning? Somebody didn't drop the whole... Man, look. That boy crazy. Tom, whatever you're doing right now, I want you to stop. I want you to go home and get some rest. You're unwell. You're unfit to be driving on public roadways. All right? I hope you're not in the car right now. I hope you're not going nowhere. I'm worried for the safety of you and your woman. Because something's wrong with you this morning. Something's wrong with you this morning. I want you to get checked out. Hey, I'm going to have to do a wellness check on Time on Monday night. I can tell that. I can tell right now. Somebody that poisoned Time because he's losing his brains. That man that went crazy on live television. That man went crazy, but I tell y'all what, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being patient with me this morning. Like I said, we got off to a late start. Unavoidable circumstances, man. But you know what? We was here. We did what we came to do, man. I appreciate y'all. Oh, and before we get out of here with a better way to close it off, we say the same thing every week. Feel free. Say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. Sincerely. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about your big dog. We got exciting playoff football to look forward to tonight with a grand finale on Monday night with my Steelers stomper. You know what? In them funky Texans. I cannot wait. I will see y'all Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Until then, y'all be safe. Y'all have fun. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace.